For Gianna Mendola as we talk Solomon Plains track and field for the junior high. A positive year for you and your teammates over on the girls' side, 5-2. Let's talk about your first experience with track and field. What was it like for you?
It was nerve-wracking and scary because I didn't know what was going to happen, and I was really nervous. My stomach had butterflies.
How about some of the events you were able to try and what you learned a little bit about yourself with some of those events? For example, maybe the 300 hurdles.
300 hurdles, all I was trying to do was beat my sister this year. I was really close actually, 0.2 seconds off from her, and then the last meet I got first place.
Talk about tackling something like the 100 hurdles, a real challenge. You find out a little bit about yourself, whether you're falling down or you're knocking hurdles down. Not so easy.
Yeah, it was really challenging. You had to be able to attack the hurdles and not stutter through them.
One of the positives for you and your teammates was the 4x1. You did really well at that event. Talk about going 6-1. Only lost one time against a real good Pittston team this year, but talk about the performance overall and some of the members that were participating in the 4x1 this year.
We had to work really hard on our handoffs to get it good to not drop the baton. We didn't do that this year, and very proud of that. Mackenzie, Isa, Malia, sometimes Delaney, and then Aaron in the last meet did very well because we got first in all of them. Pittston, they were just very good athletes, and they were faster than us, but I think we did pretty good overall.
As far as being able to be around some of your teammates, talk about learning and having some relationships and getting to know some of your teammates a little bit better.
I think it was a wonderful experience. I got to meet a lot of new people there and people that I didn't think was going to try out, but they did very good overall.
You do well in the classroom as well. Talk about your dedication as a student.
I am very particular and I work hard on my academics. If I don't think I do, then I will try to push myself harder and just keep doing well so I can keep those grades up.
Talk a little bit about your mom being able to push you academically and make sure there's some structure and consistency that most successful student athletes have, and your mom provides a lot of that for you.
My mom and dad pushed me very hard to be the best I could be. I'm very thankful that I have them here. I love them very much because they just tell me what to do and I'll do it, and they tell me how to be my very best, and I'm very thankful for that.
All right, Gianna, congratulations on a good year.
Thanks.
We're with Maeve McAvoy from Solomon Plains Track and Field. And Maeve, let's talk about your year, some of the events you competed in this year on the track and field.
I competed in the triple jump and the long jump, and I did some running events like the 800. I did that before. Last year I did the mile. I almost passed out doing the 5 laps of the 2 mile. And I did some of the hurdles and the high jump this year.
Talk about some of the jumping events and what your favorite was between the long jump and the triple jump.
My favorite is definitely the triple jump because it seems more complicated and it makes me think more.
Let's talk about academically. You're doing a really nice job in the classroom and your dedication as a student.
Well, I got into the National Honor Society. I sang the national anthem during it, and my GPA is probably above a 90. That's normal for the National Honor Society.
How about some of the friends you got to meet between last year and this year, and some of the relationships you've built with track and field?
Well, the 9th graders, I definitely met some of the ones that do most of the jumping events that I did with them, and pretty much everyone right here. And I had better friendships with people this year in track, since there's less people, so I got to know more people.
And as far as the future for you, you have any thoughts on what you may want to do down the road with your future?
I wanted to be an English teacher.
So you're pretty good in English?
Yeah, it's my favorite subject.
What part do you like about English? Some people like the writing part, some people like
writing essays and poems.
You're in the rare part of the writing part, but that's awesome to hear. And congratulations on a nice year, Maeve.
Thank you.
Talking with Chelsea Flaherty from Solomon Plains Track and Field. And Chelsea, you're a distance runner.
Yeah.
Talk about going out for a mile or a 2-mile run and how that really doesn't faze you. You seem to like it.
Yeah, I really like doing the 1 mile. That's my favorite event. I just love it so much. Yeah, I don't like running by myself though, so it was nice that this year there was some other people to go on long runs with me.
How about your best time that you've had in the mile or the 2 mile, what you're most proud of?
I did a 6:10 mile this year at the last meet, and Prior to that, my best time was 6:19, so I'm really proud of that.
Well, great to hear. Of course, you also did cross country this year, and not that many people involved, but you love long distance running. Talk about being able to do what you're doing with long distance running.
Yeah, for cross country, it was my goal to get like 10th place at the one really big meet, and I don't know, I just love running long distances, and I think I got into it because my mom was doing it, so it's really fun, and I like doing it.
A member of the National Honor Society, you really take your academics seriously. Talk about being a dedicated student.
Being a dedicated student is really important, and I also love learning, and in the future I definitely want to do something like engineering.
As far as the future for you, talk about what you're excited about down the road. As you said, engineering, what your parents are trying to push you towards.
Yeah, when I grow up I want to work in Disney World. I want to be a mechanical engineer, and then I also want to continue running all throughout high school.
Well, you have a very bright future in the classroom, out of the classroom. Chelsea, a pleasure to see you, and we wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
We're with Donna Flores from Solomon Plains Track and Field, and we're talking a little bit about her year this year. And Donna, talk about how your year went. You kind of started out a little slower, but boy, as the year went on, you picked up, and you really learned that the 400 was going to be your best event, and you really did a great job with it.
At first, I thought I was really slow at it because I believed I wasn't really good at distance, that I was just better with 100. But then I tried it out once, and I was actually really good at it.
The last meet against Crestwood, a couple of your teammates and yourself, you were 1, 2, 3. So talk about running with Layla Macking and running with Alisa Prado, and everybody kind of pushed each other, and it was a 1, 2, 3 finish for the Solomon Plains team.
I was really nervous because I was running with Layla, and Layla's really fast, and Lisa's also fast. And I did the 4x8 in the beginning. I didn't think I was going to actually do better than the rest. So I actually pushed myself more because I actually wanted a place.
And those points mattered for your team, and then you finish it all off with the 4x4, and that was kind of a last-minute decision. Talk about the nerves and being able to compete there, and very important points for the win.
The 4x4, I was super close to throwing up before it, and I was really nervous, so I was actually kind of happy that I did it. And in the last minute, I actually started running really hard because I knew I had to do my best because it was the last meet.
Talk about some of the friendships that you developed on your team, some of your good friends that you have.
Me and Jasmine actually got to do this sport together again, and it was fun because they were supporting me during every meet, so I was really happy.
Well, I know you come from a family that's supporting you all the time, Donna, and I wish you the best going forward. I hope you continue with your track and field career.
Thank you.
We're with Alisa Prado from Solomon Plains Track and Field, and Alisa, you really developed into a very big force in the 400 this year. Talk a little bit about what it was like to run the 400. I'm sure it got a little nerve-wracking at times, but you really had some great finishes this year.
Yeah, I was trying to pace myself. The first turn I was going slow, but then once you hit the forward turn, then it kick it in, and then the straightaway speed it up and sprint.
You had some teammates to run with, whether it was Malia Osmansky or Layla Macking, Donna Flores. There's a bunch of girls that were pretty competitive with you. Talk about everybody pushing each other a little bit.
Yeah, the three girls, Layla Macking, Donna Flores, Malia Osmansky, we all pushed each other, and we tried to make it first, second, and third each meet.
With the jumps, you had a friend in Maeve McAvoy. Talk about learning a little bit about how I'm going to try the long jump this year, or the triple jump. How much fun you had with that?
The long jump is pretty hard, so is the triple jump. The triple jump, you have to make sure your steps are all in order to make the good jump. For you, you play soccer as well. Yeah,
how much fun did you have playing soccer, and then of course competing in track and field? It was a pretty good year for you overall. Being on the National Honor Society, talk about being a good student.
I had pretty good grades throughout the whole year. A's and B's, good B's.
And your parents, I'm sure, push you along. Talk about having good support from them and laying a good foundation for you.
My parents always push me to work my hardest and don't give up.
Well, you didn't give up, whether it's in the classroom or the track and field this year. You had a fabulous year. Congratulations, Alisa.
Thank you.
Let's move along to Alisa Mendola, an 8th grader on the Solomon Plains Junior High track and field team.
You did the 4x1 team. Your team didn't drop a baton all year, so that's very positive. Talk about some of the members on your team and the different components and who you thought did well. A couple 7th graders stepped in this year and did a pretty good job.
Yeah, Mackenzie, she was the first person and she did her best and she had a good handoff with Gianna.
And then you had different people for the third leg a lot of times. Talk about the pressure on being the anchor.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure because sometimes the other team could outbeat you even though you're first, so you just have to push it after.
Let's talk a little bit about the shot put and being able to get your team some points there. And maybe you didn't work as hard as you would have liked in that area, but nonetheless, just being able to compete and trying to be near first place if you could to get your team 5 points.
Yeah, the shot put, it's a lot of pressure because you have to use a lot of your body strength and you have to make sure it's like on your neck and all other stuff.
You're able to do 6 different events this year. You did the 200 for a good part of the year. Talk about that, your decision to kind of say, hey, I want to try the long jump, and you did it for the first time in the last meet, and a meet where those 5 points really made a difference. So talk about fooling around with it and how you're able to come up with what you came with.
Yeah, I tried the long jump and at first I didn't think I could do it, but then I tried it and I got 14 feet and 3 inches at the last meet, so that was good.
As far as the 100 hurdles, another thing where you thought, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to try this, then a little bit more than halfway through the season you decided to give that a shot, and that worked out pretty well for you.
Yeah, I did that and I thought I couldn't do them because they were like a little bit higher than the 300 hurdles, but I tried it and I got a good time.
Let's talk about some of the friendships that you developed on your team and some of the girls on your team that you thought did a pretty good job here in 2018.
Yeah, me and Layla Macking, we got closer as the year went on, and she pushed it through all of her events. And some other girls, like 7th graders, I got closer with by doing the events with.
Well, congratulations on a positive year, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
We're with Layla Macking from Solomon Plains as we talk track and field. And Layla, you did a lot of different events this year. Did you have a favorite event?
The 800. Yeah.
Talk a little bit why you like the 800.
Okay, so I did the 800 with a lot of nice people, and they were my friends, so it was hard. Lindsay Sims got me through the whole 800 thing because she helped me with my kick and how to pace myself.
Talk about that kick, how that developed for you. Do you think it's something that you just got really good at, or just something inside you? You just know that nobody's out kicking you in that stretch.
Because I was good at long distance and sprinting, so it combines both of them.
400 you're pretty darn good at as well. Let's talk about some of your teammates that were good with you this year. Malia Osmansky and Alisa Prado and Donna Flores. I mean, they really did a good job.
Yeah, they did. I believe in them too, and they believe in me.
You take us through the relay. You have some teammates again there. Tell us a little bit about running with Chelsea Flaherty or Julie Singer.
They all helped me. They all helped me through my relays and how to do the baton.
We wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
I know you developed some good friendships here at the school, and continued success your way.
Thank you.